I recently learned driving as a first-time driver in the UK in Cambridge, and I'm going to tell you all about it. Hi everyone, my name is Meera and I live in Cambridge in the UK, and I didn't know anything about driving. I was even scared to get a license and thought so much about it for weeks and months. From feeling so nervous, unsure and confused to actually learning how to drive and passing my driving test in the very first attempt, I'm going to share everything about my journey in this video. So I had basically never learned driving in my life. So I had a lot of fear around it. I didn't even know how to press an accelerator, put on the parking brake or change the side mirrors. I basically didn't know anything. That's when I finally decided that I really need to learn driving because it is a skill everyone must have. It took so much courage for me to push myself to finally get my first lesson. Even when I went to my first lesson, my mindset and thought was that I'm just going to take this first lesson, try it out and probably not go ahead with it. To be honest with you, I was overwhelmed with multiple factors. First one, that I'd never driven before, so I didn't know if I could do it. Second thing, I was really scared of driving on the road. I used to fear traffic and being on roads and driving a vehicle. Third thing, I was quite worried about the costs because it is getting quite expensive to learn driving in the UK. So I was a little fearful about that and about how much money I'm going to spend driving. So even with all of this bias and mindset, I still pushed myself and went to my first driving class. So I started finding the top instructors in Cambridge and I came across Mr. Asif from CDI, which is Cambridge Driving Instructors. I booked my first lesson, showed up over there, and those 2 hours with Mr. Asif transformed everything I thought about driving. Let me tell you one thing right here at this point in the video. This video is not sponsored by anyone. I am a content creator and this is a video I am creating just out of happiness for Cambridge driving instructors because they have genuinely been so great and supported me completely in my journey. So yes, now that that's out of the way, let's get back to my journey. I went to my first driving class and everything changed. I shared with my instructor in the first 5 minutes that, listen, I do not know driving and I don't know how to go about this. I am absolutely afraid of being on the road with other vehicles. But Mr. Asif, my instructor, he was so kind and good. He gave me time and made sure that I was over my fear. He taught me literally things right from the basics of how to press an accelerator, how to turn on a vehicle, how to put the parking brake, every single thing. I learned an automatic car because that's what I wanted to learn. I enjoyed the first lesson so much that when I got back home, all I wanted to do was go to my next lesson. That's when I realized, okay, looks like I am going to end up learning driving. After that, I kept taking lessons and I kept liking to drive. I loved how independent it made me feel. I loved the freedom it gave me. I also liked how I kind of faced my fear and I was able to learn something I thought I just cannot. Each lesson helped me improve and helped me gain confidence, and Mr. Asif, my instructor from Cambridge Driving Instructors, was literally so good. He has supported me every single step of the way. He has trained me on all the probable test routes. He has taught me every question they would probably ask me in the tell me show me question in the test, and he has shown me so many videos and examples of where exactly people fail in their driving tests. And that is what made all of the difference. He is basically an instructor who genuinely cares about his students to succeed. It took me about 20 to 25 lessons to actually learn driving from scratch. So from the first class where I didn't know anything to the class where I was completely ready for my exam with a mock test, it took me about 25 classes. If you know driving, it can probably take you lesser than that. Now, Mr. Asif was super flexible even with timings. I used to just be available on weekends and he made sure that he kept certain time slots just for me. He also helped me book my driving exam. It was coming towards the end of the lessons and I was completely prepared for my test, but I was super nervous about the exam. And even on the test day, Mr. Asif picked me an hour earlier before my exam and he helped me calm my nerves. Then we went to the test center. I was introduced to the examiner who was going to take my test, and then we went off to the exam. Now, my exam experience, it wasn't so bad. Honestly, it got over so quickly. I didn't even realize the driving test was over. Honestly, if I had to give you the top 3 tips for your driving exam, it would just be, number 1, don't overcomplicate things. All of the 100 scenarios you're thinking in your head about how things can go wrong, you're going to be asked questions you don't know about. Just stop overthinking about all these kind of things. Also stop overthinking about the kind of routes they will take you at. Second thing, just remember your basics, all the main fundamental rules. At the end of the day, what I felt was that the examiner just cared about if I'm a safe driver or I'm not. Always remember that safety comes first. Would the examiner feel safe to be in a car which you are driving independently? That's the question you need to ask. So at every step of the exam, rather than overcomplicating things in decisions, just think about, is it a safe decision or not? And number 3, try and do commentary driving. So I did this in my exam because my instructor suggested I do this. Commentary driving just means that you kind of talk while you're driving to kind of tell what you're thinking about, because so many of the times you are thinking multiple things in your head when you're driving, like signals going to turn red, I need to slow down, I need to brake, a cyclist is coming in the way, I need to slow down again. But the instructor wouldn't always know what's going on in your head. The instructor is just going to judge what you're doing on the road and what they can see. But sometimes when you say this out loud, it helps the examiner also understand that you know a certain thing and you've seen it and you're going to act accordingly. So it makes them feel safer. That's the third tip I would give you. So my test got over pretty quickly and I passed in the first attempt with just 3 minor faults. I'm kind of beating myself up even for those 3 minor faults, because those are some of the things my instructor has told me and taught me so many times and told me to be careful about, but I still ended up making those. But it doesn't matter much because there were just 3 minor mistakes and I've passed in my first attempt. So I'm super happy about it. So if you're someone who's super nervous about starting your driving journey, take it from someone who has never driven before. You can do this, you got this. Just make sure you get the right instructor. You don't need to be perfect from day one. You just need consistency, and with the right instructor and driving school, all of this becomes even more simpler. Thanks for watching my driving experience, and I really hope this helps anyone who's watched this video.